happening? Doing a bit of live commentary on the channel for the first time in years, mostly because there's something I want to talk about. You saw the title. I'm not going to try to keep it off. I think we should get rid of 1v4 in Dead by Daylight. I don't think people enjoy it as much. I don't think you can balance it as well as you'd like. I don't think you can balance it as well as you'd like with all the perks, with all the perks, with all the maps, with all the killer powers, and I think it's just turned into too much of a hassle for the developer team to actually do. This is, yeah, a little in response of the PT. Okay. This is a bit of in response to the PTB. I'm going to be honest, I don't know balancing. I'm not good with balancing, I'm really bad at it. But I just think 1v4 is no longer the future of Dead by Daylight. Nobody enjoys playing it anymore. Killers are getting nerfed to the ground. Survivors are getting more and more entitled if they don't win, even though they suck. It's just become too much of a problem for the game to survive, in my opinion. And I think, now hear me out. I think that if we need to make 2v8 a permanent game mode and focus all in there. I feel it's balanced. I feel it's fun to play. I really only come back for it these days. It's nice and solid to play with. I think Dead by Daylight needs to focus more on the party aspect of the game, you know? Like, make it the horror party game that you can play with your friends that we all know it can be. You know what I'm saying? Maybe instead of trying to balance 1v4, which is a mistake in of itself, if you ask me, I think we should instead put our time and focus, the devs should do, into making more diverse and interesting game modes. Like, I think they mentioned in passing a zombie game mode where if a killer gets put down, or a survivor gets put down, and they become a killer, and they go on to chase the rest of the survivors. That could be fun. Maybe a game mode where all 4 members of the Legion go up against one survivor, and if a Legion member takes out the survivor, they become the survivor, and whoever's the survivor the longest at the end of the time limit could... At the end of the time limit could be the winner. You know, that way you could have a bit more of a competitive side. And if you wanted to keep the competitive stance that a lot of DBD players want to do, then maybe you could keep like a 1v1 chase game mode where it's just one killer versus one survivor and you just see who can win the most, who can stay alive the longest. Drop that. Okay, that hit me. I forget that hits me if I do that. I'm bad at this game. What can I say? Like I said, I'm bad at this game. I don't know anything about this game. But yeah, and I know what you're saying, and I know the cons of it. It's like, hey, well, what about like the accurate characters with their perks and stuff? I think we could focus on making more creative game modes and I think it's honestly time to put more vocal interaction between survivors in the game. Or even the killers. Like, yeah, I want to hear Ash and Bill... Oh, thanks. I want to hear Ash and Bill argue about who is better at killing zombies and who's head honcho. I want to hear Claudette and Dwight talk about how much they've become friends since they've met each other in the realm, how much they got in common. I want to hear hello. I want to hear how much the killers get along, you know? Oh, hello. I want to hear, not just for the killers or the survivors. I want to hear the killers interact too in 2v8. I want to see Ghostface shoot the shit with Legion. I want to see Nurse and Wraith talk about their relationship. You know, I want to see stuff like that. I don't want to just have them be silent. Like, I know silent killers are a thing, but I just feel like in this day, I just want to see well, I'm dead. I just want to see a thing where I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah, I'm bad at this game. I want to see, even if it's small stuff, like the killers who don't talk. Like, maybe it could be Hillbilly goes like a and then Trapper just tells him to shut the frick up, you know? Just stuff like that. Focus on making the characters more in depth and focusing on more interesting lore and interesting game modes and diverse game modes. Because I want to ask you, I may have already said this, but I want to ask you, if they made 2v8 a permanent game mode, do you think you would ever play 1v4 ever again? I don't think most of us would. I genuinely think 2v8 is the future, and more diverse game modes in the game are a more interesting and cooler future for Dead by Daylight. I think 1v4 would, if we got rid of it, it would clear up the spaghetti code a bit. It would be able to help them not understand, just, like, help them, is she dead? She's not dead, no. Just help them figure out game mechanics a bit more. I just think it's more interesting to do it that way, Make the game, turn the game into the party horror game that it's designed, that they say it is, you know what I mean? It's just, 1v4 is no longer gotten fun. I don't like playing it, even as a survivor. I don't like playing it as a killer. It's just reached a point that I think the future of Dead by Daylight, it would be a huge change and a hefty ask for the developers, I understand that, but I genuinely think 2v8 is... I genuinely think 2v8 is the future of Dead by Daylight, and it's not 1v4. All the perks, all the maps, all the killer powers, and for a development team that has been shown multiple times that it's just not able to understand balance, even as a solo queue, hard stuck piece of shit casual Ash main. Even I have to look at this and be like, yeah, it seems a little biased. Now I understand the PTB is just testing, and they're probably not going to put how much stuff in that game, especially since nobody liked it. Nobody's liking it. But yeah, that's my take. That's your hot take for the day. 1v4 is no longer the future of Dead by Daylight. They should just get rid of it. Keep 2v8 as a permanent game mode and put all their time and effort into making more interesting and cool game modes and lore and character interactions. Or have killers interact with survivors, Have Freddy talk about how he finally beat Ash or stuff like that. I know, like, licensed characters wouldn't really be able to interact with each other, but maybe they could. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to die here. Who am I getting chased by? Ghostface? No, Wesker. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents. I think that they can be a bit more creative. They can be a bit more creative with their... Ah, damn it. Ow! I'm going to lead him away from the other person because I'm going to die. But yeah, 1v4 is not... It's kind of hard to do this as a... I'm dead. I'm really bad at chases. I did that. I'm amazing. I'm a god. Don't let anyone tell you any differently, especially me. I'm actually really good at this game. Woo! Yeah, I'm dead. Anyway, yeah, so 1v4 is no longer the future of... Oh, I'm just recovering naturally. 1v4 is no longer the future of Dead by Daylight. They should focus on making more interesting and diverse game modes and interactions between killers, survivors, and survivors and killers, and survivors and survivors, and killers and killers. And I think that's just a bit more interesting and making the game a bit more fun, because I think it would be a huge change, and a lot of people would hate it, but I think in the long run people would enjoy the fact that we're just not having to deal with 1v4 anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry for my spastic talking. I will, yeah, you know what to do with all the YouTube stuff. Y'all have a good day.